Alright, I want to make sure I'm recording. Awesome. Well, anyway, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time zone you're in. Welcome back to Sakuna of Horizon Ruin. You're probably wondering why I'm doing part 3, because the second video was pretty short. The first video was about 30 minutes, but yeah, I wanted to do it right. Because that kind of sucked that I had to cut it short. But now I got a little bit more time, but actually, I want to talk about the PlayStation Showcase for 2023. If I have to give it... Alright, gotta turn down the volume of my headset real quick. Okay, that's much better. Before we continue, Sakuna of Rice and Ruin. Hello, Skull. Man, I just... Gosh. Yeah, I just lost my train of thought, but anyway. So the PlayStation Showcase of 2023, if I had to give it out of 10, I think I'll give it a 9 out of 10. Did I like the last one for last year? Yeah, I still give it a 9 out of 10. I felt like it was more geared towards new IPs. Not all not all the games were winners. If I have to say a complaint, they're really trying to sell us the PlayStation VR 2, and they're just really trying to sell that. I mean, what's the difference? And plus, the games they're getting for VR 2, they're just kind of lackluster, or just kind of like stuff that you want for free on PlayStation Plus, or just games you're never gonna play. If I had to, yeah, if I had to get some input on PlayStation VR 2, try to get like Half-Life Alex to that, or yeah, I mean, Resident Evil 8 Village is still fresh in our minds. It works for that type of game, but or let's just say Resident Evil 7 as another example, or that Horizon game, even though it didn't look like the best, I think it worked for that. When you're trying to do PSVR 2 for everything, it just kind of seems like you're really desperate to sell the VR 2, and Sony knows that it's not gonna be the most selling thing. I mean, it's basically an upgraded version of PlayStation VR. That's it. So that's kind of the complaint. We keep seeing that they have to have better games for the VR2 to just kind of be a selling point, but it's not. It's kind of just there and nothing else. Besides that nitpick, and I wasn't really disappointed with like majority of the games. In fact, there were kind of highlights about that. I felt like we got shown the games that are getting released either next week, April 6th, or getting released the end of June. That's Final Fantasy 16. Man, we're gonna be busy June. And even then, I felt like the new IPs that they did show, I don't think they were disappointing. In fact, there were actually quite a lot. So for the short time that I got, because I don't want to take the time away from Sakuna, I think it deserves at least an hour of my time. Okay, so I'm gonna list the games that I particularly like. The games I only like. I'm not including any games I did not care for, because I want to see how they either do when the game is in development and actually putting the final stages, or I just kind of like, it's not my cup of tea. Okay, so fair game, dollar sign. Okay, so yeah, if I had to give it out of 10, fair game, dollar sign, out of 10, I give it an 8 out of 10. Because it's all CGI trailer, I would like to see a gameplay, because when they start a CGI trailer like Ubisoft, you're thinking it's gonna bomb, or it actually might be surprisingly good. I like the style, I like the music, I like the tone that they were doing with it. It seems like it'll be kind of like a PvP thing. But I like the style and the presentation, that kind of won me over. So, yeah, Fair Game was kind of one of those heist situations, but done pretty interesting way. Yeah, 8 out of 10. Ghost Runner 2, another game that people might, in terms of the PlayStation Showcase, I don't think it'll win fans over. I don't think it had a huge fan base, but I'm glad. it's getting a sequel because I have been enjoying Ghost Rider and Rise frustrating, so it's fun. So the fact that we're getting a motorcycle with Ghost Rider 2 for already fantastic gameplay, I think that's one of my. I like the presentation. I like that we get new gameplay mechanics that will translate to the game, and I like that it's a continuation. Yeah, it's just kind of unexpected because I was not expecting Ghost Rider to get a sequel. I didn't think it needed a sequel. I haven't finished it, so I'll be curious of how it ends. Otherwise, yeah, I like the presentation, like the slick CGI, the gameplay with the motorcycle, and we got snippets of the gameplay, which wasn't disappointed because Ghost Runner 1 gameplay was pretty fantastic. So, yeah, no complaint. Now, the one that I'm going to give a 10 that it's generally surprised me, and I hope it does extremely well. Low key, I really hope this game is successful because it's basically feels like it's made by Team Ninja, and I would be kind of shocked if it's not by Team Ninja, but Phantom Blood Zero. I love the story. Yeah, I can say innocent 10 out of 10 for me. Phantom Blade Zero, I know I'm taking away from Sakuna, but this is kind of part of doing the PlayStation Plus showcase, my verdict and trailers before we get to the walkthrough. So I apologize if we're not getting to Sakuna, but I gotta talk about PlayStation Plus showcase for 2023. It was interesting. But yeah, Phantom Blade Zero in terms of that trailer, it showed enough and it still kept it so mysterious that it makes me want to learn more about it. It gets a 10 out of 10. What can we say about Phantom Blood Zero? The combat is so stylish and so precise. They know what camera angles they wanted to do and what gameplay they wanted to show. It's pitch perfect. The gameplay is pitch perfect. It's 10 out of 10 in my opinion. The story is kind of vague, but in a good way. It keeps your intrigue throughout the whole trailer, and you're curious with that ending line where it's leading. It feels it feels Souls-like, but more of Ninja Gaiden. Yeah, I like the atmosphere. I like how the story. It's just like it's giving you snippets, but it's kind of a very. It seems like it'll be an interesting story. I like the combat. The combat was pretty fantastic. I like the enemy variety and the design. Yeah, this Phantom Blade Zero generally surprised me. It was kind of one of my top favorite. If I had to pick like top five, Phantom Blade Zero, 10 out of 10. It just generally surprised me. I was excited the entire time for it. I loved what I saw. I hope that team does well. I hope the game is successful. Even if it's not, I'm just glad that we got what we got. Sword of the Sea, because I'm a fan of Abzu and Journey, and I gave Journey 10 out of 10, and I gave Abzu a 9 out of 10. Yeah, Sword of the Sea, it literally combines Abzu and Journey. I played them pretty much multiple times, so the fact that we're getting pretty much Abzu and Journey compiled together, like both gameplays, integrated in the game, and the surfing sword that you can just slide on the sand, and then the kind of like water alteration, or you can go to a water. It's got me hyped. Sword of the Sea. This might not be everyone's cup of tea, but it's kind of got my interest. And because of that, gorgeous visuals. Yeah, it gets a 9 out of 10 for me. It's got my intrigue. I know what to expect from it. It's from the team who did Abzu, The Pathless, and Journey. So I know they're going to have like A plus for the visuals. And I like the sliding sword mechanics. It's simplistic, but it left an impact on it. So yeah, 9 out of 10. Just because of the visuals, the presentation, the fact that it's made by the Giant Squid. I like that they're making another game because I love Abzu, so yeah, I'm hyped for it. Okay, Talos Principle 2. I played the first one, and I very much enjoy the first one. I haven't beaten it, but generally for the short time I got to play it, it's a fantastic game. I recommend it for puzzle solvers. But the trailer for Talos Principle 2, which has kind of odd that we get a sequel, but maybe the first game ends in some kind of cliffhanger leading to a sequel hook. But yeah, the symbolism, the concept, the presentation, again, that seems to be the common pattern. That it gets a 9 out of 10 because it makes me think, and it's cool to see architecture from like the past. So yeah, 9 out of 10. I was really surprised. I liked its CGI trailer. I like the concept. I like the premise. I'm curious of what they'll do with the sequel for Child's Principle. I didn't think it was that popular to it garner a sequel, but hey, here we are. Okay, another one that's not gonna be everyone's cup of tea, but I love to, I generally enjoy and liked what I was seeing. Neva, the whole kind of like the creator of Gris. I love Gris. Gris was I played only the first chapter, but I want to actually get back to it. But it's kind of one of those kind of like hidden gem that I low key like that no one's gonna like, but I low key like it, so I don't mind. So it's just the creators of Gris making another game, and for the art style, the presentation, that's another common pattern, and the heartfelt moment we got with the girl hugging the kind of puppy wolf, it won me over. For the emotions, the presentation, the music, and definitely the art style, it deserves a 9 out of 10. I hope it, low key, I hope it does well, but it's okay if it doesn't do well, then better than Gris, but I'm curious of what these creators will do with that game. It's got my interest. Okay, so the Plucky Square, this is the easiest one. 9 out of 10, easily. Because it reminds me of Legend of Zelda, and it's the fact that it took like inspiration from one Legend of Zelda, and like before, I can't remember. I think it came out in 2011. But the fact that you can pretty much do a 3D. Because I know the Legend of Zelda Link to the Past, it got remixed and remade for Nintendo Switch. It took that concept. You literally playing Legend of Zelda, but with 2D and 3D, and it's very unique. 9 out of 10 for that because it reminded me so much of Legend of Zelda in the good way. And it just took like inspiration from Legend of Zelda, like the old school ones. So yeah, 9 out of 10. And of course, I gotta give it a 10 out of 10. It was easy enough because we got two announcements. And if you're a Metal Gear Solid fan, today is Christmas. Metal Gear Solid Snake Eater. It's late, so I can't do what I usually do with Snake Eater, but they're remaking pretty much Snake Eater from 2004. That game is old. From the PS2. They're just remaking it for the PS5. That's a 10 out of 10 because when I was watching the trailer for Metal Gear Solid 3, I didn't know what it was. I thought it was going to be some kind of like, I don't know, Pikmin or. What's the beauty of that trailer is it's a misdirection because it goes to ants, to a bird, then a snake, and then like an alligator. Then we actually see Snake, and I'm just like, oh, that's Nick Snake. Just the fact that they took a misdirection and fooled me to think that this was Metal Gear Solid 3. I saw rumors there was a Metal Gear Solid remake, either 1 or 3 or 2. I love that. I love that. That whole setup is great. And it's literally, by fans, revered as the best Metal Gear Solid game. I consider Metal Gear Solid 4, in my personal opinion, the best Metal Gear Solid game, but you guys might get pretty much pissed at me or like, no, it's 3 or 2. Sorry, I generally think 4 is the best, but 3 is no slouch. For the short time I got to play 3, I haven't beaten it, sadly. Really the surprise please. But yeah, Metal Gear Solid 3, sign me up. Getting a remake, that's freaking awesome. That's awesome. And then the fact that we're getting Metal Gear Solid 1, we get to play the original games as they first came out. So we get to play Metal Gear Solid 1 to 3. And I was just talking to my friend about it. Yeah, we're getting Volume 2, so that means I'll get to play Metal Gear Solid 4 and whatever they want to stop with. So that means we're going to get to play the older games on the PS5. 10 out of 10, just for that. I love that. I really love that. I hope Volume 2, if it doesn't come out this year, I hope it comes out next year. I hope I get to play Metal Gear Solid 4 because I don't mind streaming. That's the game I want to stream. Yeah, that was a 10 out of 10. Just hearing both those news, it made my day. And we knew it was coming because it's coming, I think, June 22nd, but don't quote me on that. It's still a 10 out of 10. Everything they show me, any trailers they show me for Final Fantasy 16 is always going to get a 10 out of 10. I love its presentation, love its music, graphics, love the tone, love that Final Fantasy finally is getting mature because I think it deserves it. Final Fantasy 16, the Salvation trailer. Nothing was disappointing with the trailer. I think it hit the right notes. I think it showed what they needed to show. I think it showed what to expect, gameplay wise, story wise. I wasn't disappointed. I'm hyped for it, and I hope it does extremely well. Because after Final Fantasy 7 Remake and Final Fantasy 7, I'm sorry, Final Fantasy 7 Remake, that literally put Final Fantasy back on the map. But really, I guess you could say Final Fantasy 15, but it was Final Fantasy 7 Remake. I kind of wish Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth showed up, but I think they need more time. And that's understandable because it's going to be a bigger game, bigger budget, and I can tell. Minutes again. Darn it. Yeah, we've been doing 16 minutes, but that's okay. Yeah, Final Fantasy 16, 10 out of 10, absolutely. Generally, absolutely enjoyed every moment of it, and I'm excited for it. I'm glad they didn't just like ignore that Final Fantasy 716 was coming. It makes sense to show this last trailer to show the game. Hope it does extremely well. Hope it does. Hope it does. Another one because of two things. Alan Wake 2, 10 out of 10. You're probably wondering why I give it a 10 out of 10. Pretty much Sam Lake, the guy who's the face model for Max Payne, is being played by Max Payne. I enjoy the Max Payne actor, the OG Max Payne actor. I like hearing his voice every single time. Just because they use the character model, I appreciate that they use, because that just alludes that there's going to be a Max Payne remake, which I'm freaking excited about. Love that, and I like Max Payne after being there, so that's worth a 10 out of 10. But also the fact that you can play two characters for Alan Wake 2, that's a highlight. Yeah, you can play two characters in Alan Wake 2, that's a highlight. Pretty much Max freaking Payne, the voice actors, is in the game, that's also a positive too. The presentation's a horror aspect. I like that it's going to be mature, and it deserves it. And the tone, the presentation, the actual scares that they use, and the cliffhanger they ended with, yeah, chef's kiss. I think it's Alan Wake 2. I think they had enough time to perfect it from Alan Wake 1. I did enjoy Alan Wake 1, but man, I think Alan Wake 2 is going to kill it. Even if it disappoints, I think we just had a great presentation trailers leading up to it. I hope it does well. Because, I know Alan Wake doesn't have a huge fan base, but yeah, Alan Wake 2 just hit the right notes in a horror sense. Okay, finishing up, Street Fighter 6, even though it was just a story mode and it's just your character customization, like the presentation, extremely like the presentation, the visuals, like that it's focusing on your customization of your AI character that you create through the story mode. I like the heavy focus on that. Yeah, and I hope it does well. Street Fighter 2 or Street Fighter 6, because it's coming out next week, so I don't think it's gonna disappoint. It might range between 8 and 9s. I don't think it'll get 10, but I think it will range between 8 and 9. I think the complaint will be with its maybe multiplayer. In terms of the music, visual, character rosters that we got so far, I don't think it'll be disappointing. I don't think anybody will be disappointed with Street Fighter 6. Maybe there'll be tons of DLC, but I'll wait till the Ultimate Edition. I can wait on that one. Another one that actually generally surprised me, and I'm gonna have to talk to my friend about this, because this one generally surprised me, and I'm curious of what it will be like, kind of like Earthquake. Ultras. Ultras was like something that it looked like you were getting high. The whole game feels like an acid trip, but in a very profound, unique way. 9 out of 10. 9 out of 10 because I like its gameplay. The gameplay was pretty tight. The visuals are just trippy, and I'm very kind of drug infused. Don't do drugs, kids, but I'm doing in a very drug manner. But the visuals are dripping with character personality. It's very interesting. I'm actually was pretty surprised. I like how it started, and I like how it ended. I hope it does well. It's coming out next year, surprisingly, but it's an indie game, but done well. Yeah, kudos on interest. It generally surprised me. Okay, so the next two, yeah, definitely Dragon's Dogma 2, because A, I was not expecting to get a sequel, because I didn't think it had a strong fan base, but I guess there was a Netflix TV show, and then there was a DLC for the first one, so I guess generally it had a fan base. But yeah, Dragon's Dogma 2, I give it an 8 out of 10, but I enjoy the mechanics that I saw with it. It has some better visuals, better presentation. Seems like the story will actually try, even if it's not perfect. Seems like it's trying. And the gameplay is still classic Dragon's Dogma that I freaking like. So, yeah, that's it. 8 out of 10. Not in a rush to play it, but I hope it does well-ish. Okay, the last two games, Marathon by Bungie, because for once Bungie is doing a new IP, and I like the tech music that they used for it. I think that was pretty good. 9 out of 10 for that one, because Bungie's doing a new IP. That's really surprising. I like the new visuals. It's crazy. I like the cyberpunk-ish thing that they're going with, so that was kind of a delight. I like the color scheme. That was also different. And can I just say again, Bungie's doing a new IP. I think that's refreshing. After doing Destiny 3 since 2017, I think they need to do a new IP. I think they earn the new IP at this point. So I'll be curious of how this one will be. Yeah, Marathon, 9 out of 10. Zero surprise. Now, the OG. The best, it's a tie with, in terms of one I gave 10 out of 10, definitely Phantom Blood 0, Metal Gear Solid. Both of them equally, I'll count them as 1. Final Fantasy 16 got a 10 out of 10 also. Alan Wake 2 got a 10 out of 10. And Street Fighter 6, I didn't give a score, but because we've seen enough, I think I'll give that one a 9 out of 10. Because at this point, it's coming out next week, there's something more they need to show on it. They already impressed me as we got more trailers and definitely character trailers. But the road leading up to Street Fighter 6, it was fantastic. But yeah, the OG one that I'll say for it was my favorite one. Spider-Man 2. Spider-Man 2 for two reasons. Freaking Craven. Craven looks sick. I like Craven, and I already knew about Craven from the Spider-Man animated series from the 90s. They did him justice. That's what I was not concerned about. That's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see what Craven, because Craven already had a badass voice. I just wanted to see what he looked like in the game, and it did not disappoint. Just showing him is a 10 out of 10 because his voice is perfect, his character model is perfect, how he's introduced, and just that cutscene is just perfect too. That's a 10 out of 10. But they even get one better. They show gameplay, and the gameplay doesn't disappoint. It's new gameplay variety that got better, because when you compare it to the first one, there's just so much gameplay variety done in the best way possible. I'm glad Insomniac took 5 years to release a game because it shows there's the combat is more versatile and more various, more variety. I'm impressed. That's another highlight. The fact that you can switch between Peter Parker and Miles Morales is a treat too. The visuals have been pretty much upgraded to freaking max, and I'm actually impressed. I didn't mention in my Marvel Spider-Man PS4 review, but yeah, the visuals are pretty much movie tier. It's impressive. But yeah, gameplay, the presentation, the fact that you can switch between Peter or Miles is a true. Your villains are also a true group. The fact that Spider-Man is being directed by the symbiote and you, that's gonna be kind of like an interesting story beat. Yeah, if I could have to rate it, 20 out of 10, but 10 out of 10. Yeah, that was my favorite trailer. I'm excited. I'm glad it's coming out this year. Yeah, let's start with Sakuna. Yeah, that took 25 minutes, and I know. I don't regret that taking 25 minutes. There's just too many trailers I actually like this PlayStation Showcase. There's only a few I didn't like. Of course, guys, while I'm doing this walkthrough, I know I took like 25 minutes to pretty much fully explain your PS showcase, but definitely a like, comment, or subscribe, but definitely also leave a comment on your favorite PS Showcase 2023. Let's face it, it's gonna be Spider-Man 2. I think that one was the reigning champ, and if not that, then I think Phantom Blade 0 was the highlight. Now this game's gonna surprise the life. What I like about this one, yeah, the characters are surprisingly good. Yeah, music is actually pretty much a banger, and I'm actually pretty impressed. I impressed. The characters are likable too, and everyone's voiced very well. Pretty much. Games I wanted to show up on the PS Showcase, Final Fantasy VII Wii version, if it was true, a Bloodborne remake. Probably would show up. Okay, so this is what we gotta do. Yeah, so like I was saying, characters are likable with the voice. Dodge decent. Music's actually pretty good too. Let's just see what oh, well, no. Perfect. Oh. That's okay. Oh, that's cool. You know, this kind of reminds me of one game I played.
Welcome back, Goddess.
Oh, poor Karamaru.
Did something happen? Personally, I'm exhausted, but... Go see the old samurai. He's by the shed. I have a bad feeling about this. My intuition is always right.
Yeah, it's pretty accurate. Poor kid.
Go see the old samurai. He's by the shed.
Guess I go in there. Hope my rice veil is not ruined by water. Be freaking pissed.
You're trying to make us starve to death, you big doofus?
Hey, Bryce Pembroke, be nice to Patrick. Sights.
Kinta, getting angry is bad. Everyone makes mistakes.
I'm with the mom.
I'm so sorry.
I'm so ticked off!
Man, why does Bryce always sound like a punk ass kid?
You're making quite a fuss. What in the world happened?
This dingus lost all the seeds in the water!
Oh, well, okay, that explains why you're pissed.
What? Does that mean we cannot grow rice?
Yeah, the rice goddess can't grow rice.
All that's left is this small handful. The rest is...
Apparently, he's only ever watched farmers and hasn't ever done a lick of farming himself!
Oh my gosh, he's so useless just in general.
Ugh! This chump is dead weight!
Hey, kid, that's not way to talk to your... Is this your dad? Or...
I thought you said we could trust you. How do you plan to fix this?
By plot.
It pains me to say so, but in truth, I lack not only the skill to fight, but any sort of manual skill at all.
Oh, poor Patrick.
I adore farm work, and yet I am inept at it. I only got in the way of the farmers. I assumed I was the only one here who knew anything about planting rice, so I was inspired to succeed for once, but... Oh, I've brought dishonor upon myself. To make amends, I shall slice open my belly and...
No seppuku.
That is quite unnecessary.
Stop! Stop right there! If you're gonna die, do it someplace where we don't have to watch you bleed out.
Wow. Kenta, you're a dick.
No one wishes for you to die. We were merely asking what we're going to do for food.
Having one less mouth to feed certainly can't hurt them.
Wow, Kenta's just a dick.
He eats enough for 5 people. I mean, how greedy can you get?
Why is Bryce Pennington sound like an ass?
Stop, Ermi.
Oh, jeez.
Why do you hurt Taoiman? Taoiman is nice. He only made mistake.
You tell him, sister.
I am not Yanato person, but I understand that is not right way to act.
Oh, Mama Bear laid down the law. Defendant husband.
Okay. I cannot argue after being scolded by a person who is not of this land.
That is true.
Your name's Myrte, then? For your sake, we shall make peace.
Yeah, she's clearly Mama Bear. She'll activate Mama Bear and just pretty much whoop everybody.
This evening, we shall all feast on the meat I gathered and turn in early.
Oh, so the main character did all the work.
That goes for you as well, Shorty.
Oh,
What is it this time?
I am good cook. Today I will make meal from my country.
I don't know why you're talking like that, but you girl, and the Kayamura earn my respect. I respect you guys.
It will be so good.
Fan favorite.
Oh, okay. A dish from your country, you say? I do not know where you hail from, but I'll look forward to it nonetheless. I shall give this meat to you then. Cook us up something good.
Okay, I will try hard.
Fan favorite. Wonder what she's cooking.
That's really what I do.
Oh, afschuwelijk.
What is this?
Disgusting.
I'm stuffed.
Happiness is a full
Cannot
belly.
eat
good.
another bite. What a feast.
Okay. Heartwarming. This makes me feel good. Just a hunt. Oh, everything's spoiled.
Lady Sakuna, the leftover seeds have managed to sprout. It's finally time to plant them, but
Oh, wow.
Have you got a handle on it this time?
I tend to get a bit carried away and end up crushing the seedlings and destroying the footpaths.
Yeah, that's not a voice of confidence.
That sounds like quite the mess.
I think that goes beyond merely being inept. Hey, Tama, what are you looking at? You're not thinking of putting me to work again, are you?
Probably.
Just consider how ridiculous it would be for a harvest goddess to plant the very rice she receives as an offering.
Desperate times.
No, it's not strange in the least. Our country's harvest goddess is abundantly energetic. Your mother, Lady Toyohana, worked the fields every year, as does the preeminent goddess, Lady Kamuitsu.
Are you serious? Even the noble Lady Kamihitsuki mucks about in rice paddies? Surely you jest.
Be that as it may, we cannot entrust our continued livelihood to the children of men. Most are but women and children, after all. Do not worry. I'm sure you will excel. You are none other than Lady Toyohana's descendant, after all.
I am confident in my knowledge of the process, at least. I'll teach you how to do it.
Yeah, good for you, Caddy.
Don't act all high and mighty after what you did yesterday.
Yeah, okay. That is a very unique game. So guys, I think this is the perfect way to stop this. I know I didn't do a lot of Sakuna and talk about the PlayStation Showcase 2023, which is very fun. But there will be more Sakuna coverage in the future, more harvesting, and just playing the game properly, so please, like, subscribe, and stay tuned.